Now we will discuss about other files in Android Studio which are very important files. So if we go here, then you will see this option device SDK manager. Okay, so if you click on SDK manager, then here you will see one window. Okay, so see here you will be able to see Android SDK. Okay, what is Android SDK actually? Android SDK means Android Software Development Kit. That means to develop our app, to create our app, we need different tools. Okay, different tools. We need emulator, that already we have discussed. Then we need some build tools. So all these things comes under this Android SDK. Also our classes, already predefined classes are there, predefined interfaces are there, which we will use to create our app. So these things comes under this SDK. So see SDK platforms, then SDK tools. So here you can install any platforms which is required, and you can install SDK tools from here. So for me, I have downloaded this one, see Android SDK 36.0. this is installed SDK build tools. Then below you will find NDK, then you will find here SDK command line tools, CMake, lots of things are there. See Android emulator that we have used. So emulator is there, Android emulator, hypervisor, driver. So this is required for actually Android emulator. Okay, so these things are there, lots of things are there. We'll discuss later if it is required, but generally it is not required. Okay, to like know everything for now. Later we can discuss. Then see Android SDK sites. So from where Android is getting the tools and platforms. So this is the URL. So this is about Android SDK, and this is the SDK location. So where your SDK is stored. So when you download the Android Studio, then it comes along with that Android Studio itself. Okay. Next thing is this file Gradle. See here Gradle.kts, this file is there, correct? So here you can see there are some code. Okay, so here see you can see your minimum SDK version. What is that? That I have already told to you, the minimum SDK below which our app will not work. So this is the SDK. So you can change it here also. When creating the app you have to select, but later we can change it here, minimum SDK. Okay, so if you give 22, then from to Android 22 API, your app will work. Let's say some user has Android SDK, Android operating system which has API of 24, then your app will work in that mobile. But let's say some user has Android API 18 only, then it will not work. Okay. Because minimum SDK is 20, so 22. Okay, and after changing you have to click on this option. Okay, if you change this, then you have to click on this option. So we try to keep it as low as possible, because if you decrease it, then we can get more user, correct? Because more devices will support our app, correct? That's why we get more user if we decrease it. But some features will be missing, you cannot use all the features, some features may be there, not there. Then this is target SDK. So target SDK actually it defines our runtime behaviors. Let's say some target SDK, let's say target SDK 30T. Okay, so target SDK 30T will have some different behavior when it is working, when it is running in Android mobile devices. It has some different behavior, some permission will be there, some background execution limit will be there. So there are several things actually, you will not able to get everything. So we will discuss this later, but for now just I am telling that it will be decide our runtime behavior. Let's say in some Android SDK you cannot run any background task for long time, but if you decrease it, then you can run the background task in that mobile for long time, but we cannot publish it if we decrease it too much. Okay, so recommended is keep the highest one. Okay, for now it is let's say 36. but if you decrease it too much, let's say 30, then Play Store will not able to upload you, will stop you to upload. They will prevent you to upload your APK. Okay, and then version code. Version code means what? This is used by Play Store. So let's say you have uploaded your app with version code 1, that means you have uploaded one app. Okay, next time when you try to upload the APK, you have to update it. You have to give 2, you have to give 3, anything you can give, but you have to give a upper version. You cannot keep it same, or you cannot decrease it also. Let's say you have updated your app with version 200. Okay, next time if you are going to upload your app and you have kept it, let's say 100 only, then Play Store will stop you to upload. You will be not able to upload your app. So this is used by Play Store to know that your app is getting updated, and that Play Store will tell user that one new update is available, like that. Okay, so let's say you have your current version is 100, you have updated to 101 and you have uploaded your app. So now Play Store will show you, so users, not you, Play Store will show users that the app has a new version. Okay, next thing is version name. What is this? Version name is used to show to user which version of app you are using. So for example, let's say I will go to Play Store here, okay, and I will check some app, let's say GPay itself. Okay, I will check the GPay. So if you go to the GPay app and about section, see about the app is there somewhere, we need to find it. Okay, I am not able to see where is the about option. Ratings and review. Okay, see here about this app is there. So below if you go here, it will show some version. Okay, see permission it is showing, required point, release on Iman. Okay, release on this one, but version is not showing here actually, but generally it shows. Okay, for this app it is not showing. Okay, see very sweet device that it is showing. See, this is the version, but generally it shows here. I will try with some another application, then you will be able to see. Let's say this is the version, I think. Okay, this is the app, and here it will show you the version of the app. See, it is showing version 3.0.3. so this is showing from this file 3.0. They have given here 3.0.3. this is used for user only, so that the user know that there is a new version. Let's say the user is using 3.0.3 and you have updated to 3.0.4, then user will able to know new version is coming, so he will update the app, like that. So this is about version name. Then lots of other code is there, then we will not able to try it right now, we will not able to understand, so we'll discuss later. Next one is dependency. So see, to create our application we need different libraries, correct? See, this is Kotlin library which we need to create our app, and this is activity library. Activity means screen library. So this library we have to write it here, okay, whatever the libraries we need. And let's say to create our app we need some features. Let's say we are creating some image compression feature, okay, image size decreaser app we are making. So but let's say for that size decreaser we don't want to write our code, we want to use some already developed code from internet using one library. Okay, so that library we can use here. There will be several libraries for image compression, that library we can use here. Okay, so we have to take the library from internet, we have to paste it here, and here see, if you go click on this option, then you will be able to see the details of the library. See, this is the version of the library 1.17.0. so if the library maker who is managing the library, if he has updated, then you can also update it here, like that. Okay, so this is about dependency. Then one more file is there, see, Android manifest. So this manifest file actually it is like identity card for our application. Here we define our application name, then application, see, icons are there, then name, see, this is name. Oh, sorry, this is not the application name, this is activity name. See, we have one activity, correct? This is, I will discuss this later also. This is one screen, activity means one screen, So whatever the activities we are creating, whatever the screens we are creating, we have to write here the code. It will be actually auto generated, no need to write. When you create one screen, then here this file will be, this line will be generated for a new screen. Let's say we have two screen, so there will be like this, see, sorry, like this. Okay, new activity we have to register here, it will be auto generated, no need to manage by yourself, but sometimes we need to send some code here. And other than activity, we have different components like broadcast receiver, then we have services. So all these things we have to mention in this manifest file. So let me check if something is there for manifest. Yeah, okay, screen. Okay, and one more thing, our app needs some permissions also. Let's say we download some content from our internet, then you need to write here internet permission, uses permission, like that, uses permission dot internet. See, so this is, I have written some wrong. So here, see, let's say our app uses internet, then you have to write it here, otherwise your app will not work, your app will not able to access internet, so you have to mention here. Okay, so these things we mention in our manifest file. And these permissions, whatever the permission it is using, it will be shown to your Play Store also. For example, here, see, this this is the app, and this app uses some permission details. See, it is showing, see, it is showing Wi-Fi connection, photo media, phone, storage, camera, microphone. All this permission will be shown in Play Store, whatever the permission your app uses. Okay, so this is about manifest file. And except this file, there are lots of small file like settings.gradle, local properties. This is for like libs.to version toml, then here Gradle. So main thing is that, see, all these things are this library management, this minimum SDK, target SDK version, then this library dependency. So when we all these things are managed by one system, that is called Gradle, which is, you can see here, build.gradle, the folder file name itself is Gradle, correct. So these things are managed by a build system which is called Gradle, which will come along with your Android Studio. Okay, so whenever you try to send here something, let's say you want to download some library from internet. Okay, I will show you how you can download. Let's say you have downloaded some library, so that library file you have written here. Okay, library line, whatever the line is required to download our library, you are pasting here. It will be similar to this one. Okay, then you have to click on this option, sync now. So immediately your Gradle, your build system will download that library from internet. Okay, so these things are managed by Gradle. And also when we create our application at last to update to Play Store, or we want to compile our code, then all these things, compilation, then downloading, then managing dependencies, all will be managed by this Gradle actually. So Gradle is an Android build system used to compile code, see, manage dependencies, and generate APKs and AAB. Okay, without this Gradle we will be not able to do anything. Okay, so it is automated build system actually. Then here gradle.repar file, you will be able to see the Gradle version 1.9.0. see, you can update it also, but don't try to update anything for now, because it may create some issue to you. Okay, and whenever you do something, some changes in your Gradle file, you have to sync it, you have to remember. So whenever you click on sync, it will see start doing some task, importing Android basic something. So like that it will work automatically, it will do your task. And if you are facing some issue, if you have written some wrong code here in Android, let's say here I have given some false code like ... then it will immediately show error when you try to run it. And also it will show here also, see, expecting member declaration. Okay, all about these things then we will discuss later.